Welcome to From the Pages, and this time we are deep inside the July 1986 issue of The Wrestler, a magazine that exists at the exact intersection of boom, tension, and transition in professional wrestling, when the business is exploding outward through national television while still clinging tightly to its regional roots, when power is shifting behind the scenes, and when wrestling magazines act not just as reporters, but as judges, historians, and provocateurs shaping how fans understand what they are watching. The issue opens with your letters, and the tone is immediately confrontational and passionate. These letters are not filler, they are declarations. Fans write in with strong opinions about Scott Hall, questioning his credibility and trajectory, measuring him against veterans like Larry Zbyszko, and demanding accountability from performers who in their eyes have not yet earned their place. Other letters praise Lance, defend certain pushes, or challenge editorial decisions. Miss Elizabeth becomes a lightning rod, with readers openly questioning her role and influence as a manager, showing that even non-wrestlers are fair game in the court of fan opinion. What stands out here is not agreement, but intensity. These fans care deeply, and the magazine gives them space to argue, disagree, and push back, reinforcing that wrestling fandom in this era is participatory and vocal. From there, the magazine moves into what's happening, and the tone shifts from fan emotion to industry power. Bill Apter lays out one of the most consequential developments of the year, Mid-South Wrestling's transformation into the Universal Wrestling Federation. This is not treated as a cosmetic change, it is framed as a declaration of ambition. Apter carefully explains the confusion surrounding the television title, using Dick Slater's act of throwing the medallion into the Arkansas River as a symbolic rejection of the old order. That image lingers. It represents chaos, rebellion, and uncertainty. Bill Watts' response is equally symbolic. He orders a replacement belt, mandates defenses, and formally presents Buzz Sawyer with the championship, reasserting authority and structure. This section makes clear that wrestling power is fragile, and when it breaks down, it must be rebuilt decisively. The magazine then grounds itself firmly in the ring with correspondence reports, pulling readers away from boardrooms and back into arenas. These eyewitness accounts are raw and detailed, and the standout is the Texas death cage match between Dusty Rhodes and Arn Anderson. The report does not romanticize the violence. It documents it. 4 falls, blood, exhaustion, and desperation define the contest. Arn resorts to a foreign object. Dusty absorbs punishment, survives, and wins, but the story refuses to end there. Dusty's desire for revenge after the bell underscores a recurring theme in the issue. Victory does not erase resentment. Sometimes it amplifies it. Interaction returns with You Asked Us, and this is where personalities come into sharp focus. Precious Paul Ellering responds with open hostility to criticism of the Road Warriors, making it clear that he sees dominance as self-explanatory and beyond debate. Ric Flair addresses questions about Greg Valentine and alliances with practiced confidence, revealing how carefully champions manage perception. Lex Luger answers criticism with a mix of ambition and defensiveness, acknowledging scrutiny while asserting his place. These exchanges strip away polish and reveal ego, pride, and sensitivity beneath the surface. Judgment arrives next with thumbs up and thumbs down, and the magazine does not hedge. Jerry Lawler is praised for command and consistency. Brian Adidas is acknowledged positively. Hulk Hogan is credited for presence and impact. Bruiser Brody is recognized for intensity. On the opposite page, Ric Flair is criticized despite his status. Jake Roberts is called out. Randy Savage is questioned. And David Sammartino is scrutinized. These sections reinforce that reputation is never permanent. Everyone is under review. The feature section opens with introducing Siva Afi, positioning him as an emerging WWF presence. The focus is not on backstory, but on momentum and opportunity, emphasizing that visibility itself is a form of currency. That momentum theme continues with the expanded Lex Luger feature, reinforcing his role as a central figure in Florida and beyond. Luger is presented not as a prospect, but as someone expected to carry weight. Analysis deepens significantly in X-Ray Steve Williams, where a panel dissects his power, aggression, and future with almost scientific detachment. Strengths are cataloged, weaknesses are acknowledged, and potential is weighed carefully. Wrestling here is treated as a craft that can be evaluated, measured, and projected forward. The tone shifts again with the spotlight on Rick Martel, reminding readers of his status as a former AWA world champion. The article reinforces how championships from different promotions still carry real meaning, and how credibility is cumulative, not disposable. Dominance becomes unavoidable, and Nikita Koloff overpowers superstar Graham, framed around the question of whether anyone can stop Koloff. The language emphasizes inevitability. Koloff is not framed as clever or cunning, but as overwhelming, a force designed to crush opposition through sheer power. Crowd reaction and psychology take center stage in When Heroes Hear the Boos, focusing on the fabulous ones, Steve Kieran and Stan Lane. The article does not shy away from the discomfort of shifting fan perception. It acknowledges that popularity is fragile, that cheers can turn to boos, and that heroes must adapt or fade. Resilience defines he bends but he won't break, centered on Ric Flair. Despite criticism and constant challengers, Flair is portrayed as a champion who absorbs pressure without surrendering his position. Endurance, not invincibility, is his defining trait. Villainy is revisited in how King Kong Bundy became the WWF's most hated man, revisiting the incident that defined his reputation. The article demonstrates how hatred, when sustained and remembered, becomes a form of power. History closes the feature section with Matt Brock's Looking Back, revisiting an August 1960 match between Crusher Lisowski and Primo Camera. This retrospective reminds readers that wrestling's lineage is long and that the present is built on forgotten battles. Authority returns with the official wrestling ratings, followed by ratings analysis where rankings are explained and defended. The magazine invites argument, knowing fans will debate every placement. And everywhere, the ads speak. The Foley Belsall Institute promises locksmith training and stability beyond wrestling fandom. Shape Up weight gain supplements promise mass and strength. Charles Atlas returns with dynamic tension, selling transformation through discipline. Merchandise floods the pages. Shirts, caps, sky flyers, bumper stickers, buttons, and deluxe superfan packages, turning wrestling into identity. Subscriptions promise continuity. Back issues promise completeness. Video ads like Lords of the Ring and Ringmasters, The Great American Bash promise access to history. These ads are not background noise. They are part of the culture, selling the same dream wrestling sells: improvement, belonging, and proximity. Taken together, the July 1986 issue of The Wrestler captures professional wrestling as a world driven by momentum, judgment, dominance, and memory, where fans are vocal, promotions are unstable, and every performer is fighting not just an opponent but perception itself. If this issue brought something back for you, drop a comment with the article that stood out most. Hit like if wrestling magazines shaped how you followed the business. Share this with someone who remembers this era, and subscribe so we can keep turning these pages together. See you next time. Farewell from the Empire State.